family. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, oh, the Lord.
Wakenya waganda Wanyarwanda, Somali Wakongo Wahausa, Wavijana wamama na wababa, sisi sote tuungane pamoja.
We are family, come together, divided we fall, united we stand, one family. Come together, brothers, sisters, this is family. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Your Excellency, I hope you have enjoyed that Global Peace Choir, because the family is made up of the father, the mother, and the children, grandchildren, all of them are here. If there is to be socio-economic transformation, all of us are supposed to work together. Your Excellency, now we would like to have two special greetings. The first one is from Mrs. Valerie Huber from the Institute for Women's Health, USA.
The music here today, hasn't it been fantastic? It has really blessed my heart. It's wonderful to be back here in Uganda to see and learn a little more about your culture, to taste your foods, your fruits, your pineapple, the best I've ever had anywhere in the world. Mr. President, Mama, Excellencies, ministers, members of parliament, cultural and religious leaders, honorable guests, friends, today is a beautiful reminder that the family is not merely a basic social unit. It's an institution created by God. A healthy family is where parents act as positive role models, teaching values and life skills. With every bedtime story, every shared meal, every hug, every wiped tear, a child learns they are loved, and they learn how to love, and they develop virtues that equip them to someday begin healthy families of their own. As president of the Institute for Women's Health, we're grateful to be part of today's festivities because families are why we are here in Uganda. Research tells us that when families are healthy, women and girls are healthy, as are boys and men. But research also tells us that when women are healthy, their families are also more likely to be healthy. We're located in Washington, D.C., and our institute works with governments and other influencers to accomplish that goal. The family has been a priority here in Uganda for a very long time, but I first became acquainted with Uganda when the President and First Lady became international leaders, heroes really. I soon realized that the ABC approach was more than a fight against AIDS. It was a fight for families, the survival of families. In 2019, I saw Uganda continue their defense of family when I was serving as U.S. Special Representative for Global Women's Health under President Trump. Uganda joined the U.S. and other nations to make bold joint statements in international fora in defense of the family, in defense of women's health, in defense of life and your very sovereignty. Then, in 2020, Uganda's leadership again was on display as we worked together to craft a first ever international coalition of nations, the Geneva Consensus Declaration, the GCD. I was honored to negotiate it on behalf of the United States with Uganda and 4 other regional leaders, Brazil, Egypt, Hungary, and Indonesia. Since that time, this coalition has grown to 36 countries in every region of the world with 4 core values. Number 1, to protect the family as foundational to every healthy society. Number 2, to improve health and thriving for women and girls. Number 3, to declare there is no international right to abortion. Number 4, to defend the sovereign right of countries to defend these values without external influence. As regional leader, I hope that because of Uganda's leadership, every other African country will join this coalition. In February, the First Lady and our institute globally launched right here in Uganda, Protego Health, the Women's Optimal Health Framework at State House Entebbe, in a memorable event that began our partnership. Our Chief Operating Officer, Dr. Alma Golden, who actually took the lead on developing that, is here for the first time with the Institute for Women's Health today, and I'm so glad she could be here. Our institute created the Protego model to defend and protect a nation and its people in the areas of health, education, law, and international policy. In May, we returned again with the newly created Interministerial Steering Committee under Mama's leadership, and they will provide ongoing critical insight as together we craft policies and programs that can strengthen families, increase parent-child communication, improve health for women and girls, and help young people develop healthy life habits. And we're back here in Uganda for the same purpose this week. The Protego model is unique because it values the life of every single person, no matter how young, no matter how old. We respect the culture, traditions, religion, and values of the country. We identify research-based interventions that can empower a nation and bring diplomatic and legal tools to help a country understand the threats to those values and then to effectively defend against them. Imagine with me a nation that is so strengthened in its diplomatic proficiency that in negotiations with international actors, that nation takes the lead in those negotiations to defend family, life, and health, rather than surrendering even one bit of their sovereignty. Imagine a nation where laws and legal opinions are so clear that they prevent undue foreign influence in domestic affairs, key to maintaining your sovereignty. Imagine a health and educational approach that brings generations together rather than tearing them apart. Imagine a family that is equipped to talk to children about even the most sensitive topics, so that when those children have questions, those children first go to their family rather than the internet or strangers for answers. And imagine a young person who, no matter where they go, they know they have support, where healthy habits are reinforced. And for those who feel hopeless, maybe for the first time in their lives, they know and they believe that their life has meaning, that they have value, that they have promise. This is the vision of Protego. Today, I see Uganda taking another step to further its role as a leader. With today's festival celebrating families, I hope this is the first of many more. So thank you, all of you who are here. Look around you. You are many. By your presence, you are showing your nation, Africa, the world, that you care about the future of our civilization because you treasure the family, our greatest national resource. We can think of families as the threads that weave together the fabric of society. And as we leave today, let's commit to weaving a tapestry so strong, so vibrant, that it can weather any storm. Truly, the masterpiece of a strong society begins with the artistry we create in our homes. May God richly bless you and the families here in Uganda. Thank you.
Your Excellency and the First Lady, the African country of Nigeria has the largest population on the continent, and the African country of Uganda has the largest variety of food on the continent. Uganda may not have the size of population of Nigeria, but at least we have more food than the Nigerians have, and I think we need to start to feed them. But what our brothers and sisters in Nigeria have done this morning, they have sent us a great man from there to come and speak to us, and when he's done speaking, perhaps we'll share with him some of the varieties of food. The only common food between Uganda and Nigeria is the yam. The difference is how the Nigerians eat it and how we eat it. At the risk of biting my tongue into several bits, let me invite Reverend Father Canis Chinyaka Enyaka.
He did a good job. He did a good job. Your Excellency, General Yoweri Museveni, the President of the Federal Republic of Uganda, our dear Mama, Her Excellency Janet Museveni, the Chairman and founder of the Global Peace Foundation, Dr. Henjen Preston Moon, our dear mother, the wife of Dr. Moon, here present, the international president of the Global Peace Foundation, Mr. James Flynn, government representatives, religious leaders, guests from different parts of the world, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I stand on the existing protocol and thank the government of Ghana, the Interreligious Council of Uganda, the government of Uganda, Global Peace Foundation for putting this festival together. This is the first in Africa. Please put your hands together for the organizers. God is love. The Lord of God is the Lord of love. God's order takes care of the world. And the first place to see the Lord of God, the order of God, is in the family. The eternal Lord of God, which we call the wisdom of God, that directs for a good purpose humanity, leads to the divine law, which is revealed in the holy books. And from the eternal law to the divine law, we move to the natural law, the rational person's participation in eternal law. The rational person's participation in eternal law. Then to the human law, which is the interpretation of the natural law. The natural law has a way of providing the tools to order the community, drawing from eternal law the wisdom of God for the well-being of the human community. And that's the reason God in the book of Genesis created man in his image. What did he do? He established this law of love, this order in what we call the family. And he said in his image he created them. The law of God, the eternal law, the divine law, the natural law, and the human law made it possible for nations, and of course you know that the human society is ordered in nations. In most nations of the world, we have what we call the Invocatio Dei, the invocation of God in the legal documents of the constitutions of nations, because we cannot do without God and His law and the order He has put in place. In the document of the Vatican II, known as Religious Freedom, the document started by talking about Dignitatis Humanae, and that's the name of the document, human dignity. And so God in the book of Genesis puts His love and His order in the family. Civilization as such started with the family. And the moment the human person deviated from that order, from that eternal law, from that divine law, from that natural law, the human person experienced chaos, destabilization, disorder. What it means is that in the family, God has put His law, God has put His love, and we are called to respect, to promote, to encourage the law of God, the love of God in the family. And this law of God, this love of God in the African culture, in the African tradition, in the African setting, we call it Ubuntu. I am because we are. That is why in Africa we don't so much talk about nuclear family. We emphasize extended family because family is community. And because family is community, I am because I participate. I am because we are. Everybody is a person through other persons. You cannot be in isolation. The family is a place of love. John Chrysostom calls the family the first society, the basic unit of every society. So the Lord of God infused in the family leads to the larger society. For any ethical society to be, the family must be respected as God ordered the family to be. The family must be promoted. The family must be promoted and secured. The security of the family is important today because the family is facing serious threat. And you know, when you destroy the family, no foundation can stand. No society can exist without the family. But what is important? What is important is the spiritual value, the spiritual heritage of every family. And this spiritual value is seen expressed in different ways when we talk about Ubuntu, Ujamaa, Harambe, Taranga in Africa. And this is what we celebrate today, the power of family. It is proper also to see how the religious leaders, communities can play a role in this. I close with this. A friend of mine, Alan Eman, we do what we call the kitchen coffee talk in Washington, D.C. Alan told me that his friend told him one day, I don't care about your theology. I don't care about your treatise. What I want to know from you is, what is your God telling you about how to treat me? That is what we do. How do we come together to solve problems? One family under God. God bless you.
I come here for a very simple task to invite Ambassador Kambula Milton, President of the Global Peace Foundation Uganda chapter, the vision bearer of why we are here.
Your Excellency, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, a five-star general, retired, our President, our Jaja, Mama Janet Museveni, our mother, the First Lady, and the Minister of Education and Sports, the Vice President, and our keynote address leader, the founder and chairman of the Global Peace Foundation, Dr. Hyunjin Preston Mon. I want to say it's a special day, special day, special day. We thank God. Tell your neighbor, welcome to the Interreligious Family Festival 2024. Tell your neighbor, welcome, welcome to the festival 2024, Family Festival. Your Excellency, sir, I want to first of all thank you for accepting to be with us on this occasion, the first of its kind in Africa, but also globally, because we are making history of securing the space of what God created as a family of us, shaping the future of heaven. Tell your neighbor, welcome again. I want to also thank Interreligious Council of Uganda for taking ownership of this vision, mobilizing us, coordinating us, and facilitating the whole process of making sure we are here today. Please, first of all, thank the President and thank Interreligious Council together in one hand clap and say, God, thank you for combining these two great leaders, two great institutions for this to happen. I want to thank the Global Peace Foundation that is operating globally to secure the peace of the world. Please, again, thank Global Peace Foundation and the teams that have come from more than 20 countries to come here and celebrate the institution and the sanctity and the holiness of the family. Your Excellency, I want to say to everyone that we are here inspired by the ideal of one family under God, as championed by the testament we are signing today, right here in Kololo Independence Grounds. We also affirm that Uganda understands a 10,000-old civilization, that indeed, regardless of tribe, regardless of religion, regardless of political parties, regardless of nationalities and the borders that are dividing us, we are truly and truly one family under God. I want to affirm on this historic occasion that indeed we are interconnected in that vision, that God did not create us as FDC, as DP, as NRM, as all those things that divide us right now, beyond global south, global north fighting. Everyone is fighting. Skins of our colors are fighting. We are saying no. No, Uganda is signing today to tell the rest of the world that we are one family. Your Excellency, sir, I want to therefore tell the world that what can bridge us right now is to celebrate every day who we are. Who we are. Tell your neighbor, who we are as Africa. Who we are as the people in the global south and in the global north. To say that we are one family and that we share common shared values of Ubuntu, living for greater good, compassion, sharing, forgiveness, practices of peace and forgiveness, love. That is what defines the definition of God saying, let us create somebody like us in our godliness. And so we will not behave contrary to what is in the scripture. If then we say we are human beings, we must do what God designed us in the original composition and menu of humanity. Then it is through that we will be able to end identity-based conflicts, wars, violence, radicalization. And then we can nurture a new nation that is focused to fulfill a heavenly vision. That then our leadership can work, our families can work, the economy can be fixed, technology can be guided. Then we can say a world free of guns. Tell your neighbor, world free of guns. And a world free of poverty, because we could have to share what we have. As I conclude, and then invite the keynote speaker. We are saying, Your Excellency, and we are here to pay a testimony that for us to be able to achieve human rights as designed by the United Nations, the economic prosperity and the vision that we have, the democracy that we want to achieve, the environmental conservation, the good governance, and all this, the family must be stable first. The family must be the focus of all programming, of the national budget, of the policies we are acting in Parliament, our leadership. How is the family feeling the mindset of everyone in the family? Do we have a database? How are they thinking? What are their conduct? Then we can talk about the rest. Your Excellency, we are here also to explore best practices in championing the family.